Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is brought to you by Ring Neighbors. If you want to see what's going on in your neighborhood, download the app today at ring.com/inside.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside Gaming Tuesday.
That's right, it's Tuesday. Nintendo Switches are breaking, and not because people are snapping them in half while they're putting themselves to the torture that is community-made levels in Super Mario Maker 2. It is literal torture.
No, it's actually something that's been around for a significant while, but until now, Nintendo has actually never acknowledged it.
Yeah, even though anytime they announce new Joy-Con colors, people always complain about this one thing all over their social media like Lawrence does. They can't pretend they haven't seen it, right, Lawrence?
Right. They can, sort of.
Well, what's the issue?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's called Joy-Con drift. It's what the community has labeled it. It's when the stick doesn't return to center after you've moved it, so it slightly registers inputs all the time. It can make characters sort of walk slowly in a given direction, or cameras kind of just rotate all the time, or whatever else could happen if a stick is just moved in one direction or another. It's like it's possessed, but its only goal is to with your video games just a tiny little bit.
It's just a little bit of broken, that's all.
Not worth understating. It's super annoying. You have to like keep your thumbs on it the whole time. Basically, the Geneva Convention outlawed it years ago. This is a war crime, worse than flamethrowers or chemical weapons. This is what we have to deal with every day.
We do report on the real stories. And it sounds like a lot of people are tangling with it. It's one of those deals where everyone just assumes they're the only ones. A couple of members of the Inside Gaming team have experienced it too, though not consistently. It has sort of popped up and disappeared on and off regardless. We stand with our brothers.
This whole thing got a little more serious when Reddit user Locus Ain't Bad posted a thread titled, "I know it's been said a billion times, but Nintendo really needs to address these defective Joy-Cons. It's been radio silence and I find it unacceptable."
The poster goes on to talk about how in late March 2019, they got themselves a Switch and played with their Joy-Con for about a month before getting a Pro Controller.
And yet, the Joy-Con drift drifted into their lives. Just 4 months, actually. These things cost $80.
Yeah.
Well, it's 80 for a pair.
Okay, so $40 a piece.
I mean, you
But
don't.
you can't buy them by
Individually.
themselves.
so
yeah.
$80.
$80, yeah. The Redditor in question here basically laid out every reason that you would have to call them an idiot. They said that they were careful and clean, very protective. They reached out to Nintendo, but couldn't find a single way to get the justice they deserved without actually paying Nintendo to fix what sounds like a faulty product. Also having to wait months and months while you send it there and they send it back. Maybe not months, but still. An amount of time that you shouldn't have to wait, an amount of money you shouldn't have to pay for something that's very expensive and broke after a few months of what this Redditor says was careful care. So then Kotaku picked up the story a few days later, mentioned that about a quarter of their staff had suffered the same problem, but that nobody had found a fix for the issue yet.
So I guess could the law fix this?
You mean Lawrence?
No, God.
That's what I call them.
Yeah, the law is me buying replacement parts off of eBay and buying tools so I can pry open my Joy-Con and hopefully not break them. It mostly went together. There's a little gap where the screw doesn't quite fit.
Sounds like he broke it.
Yeah.
It mostly works.
We didn't mean the law as in Lawrence. An actual law firm
Yes.
has shown up in the mix and could be the knight in shining armor that saves us from the curse of the drift.
That's right.
Is this a 9th Harry Potter film?
Yeah, I know.
The law firm, this is a real place, Chimkul Schwartz, Krinner, and Donaldson Smith LLP, this is what a merger looks like, posted a class action investigation asking for gamers who've experienced Joy-Con drift to fill out a form that asks about their specific issues and how long they've had them, so they can take down Nintendo once and for all.
Finally. They took all these submissions and actually filed the lawsuit. Their class action complaint says jury trial demanded. We have a jury of our peers.
Which reminds me, I got a
Summons?
yeah.
So
I gotta do jury duty.
Yeah, how excited would you be if they said, does anyone in here know what the hell a Joy-Con is?
Yeah.
And Lawrence,
Oh, me!
Get out!
Yeah, they would excuse you.
You're dismissed, absolutely.
I work on a new show about video. Get out!
A big part of their case is that the Joy-Con drift affects the console's core purpose, like a broken controller. In this case, straight up does influence gameplay, which is the purpose of the entire platform. Plus, most people didn't know these issues existed when they were buying their Switches, which makes the purchase an uninformed one on Nintendo's part.
Yeah, and here's the kicker. Nintendo actually responded. Lawrence.
What?
Yeah, how'd they respond?
So austere, yeah. A single day after the lawsuit was filed, Nintendo actually acknowledged Joy-Con drift when speaking to Eurogamer. They said, quote, "At Nintendo, we take great pride in creating quality products, and we are continuously making improvements to them. We are aware of recent reports that some Joy-Con controllers are not responding correctly. We want our consumers to have fun with the Nintendo Switch, and if anything falls short of this goal, we always encourage them to visit support.nintendo.co.uk so we can help."
Does that do anything?
I guess.
I mean, I can open my window and shout, but
It doesn't really address the issue, which is that this is happening too often and too early in the Joy-Con's life for how much they cost, and that the repair costs more money and it puts you out of the service of your Switch for a while.
I should be doing PR for Nintendo because the real answer should have been, clearly people are just playing with the Switch so much, that's how popular it is, that they just can't get enough, that they're just breaking these controllers. I see that as a win.
Go to Nintendo.com to buy your new Joy-Cons for $80.
New colors coming this week. Can you imagine the show.
Naturally, the Reddit community is not happy. Of course. The comments are full of people ripping into them for this one, and for good reason.
And this is where it gets tough, because Joy-Con drift legit sounds like a really annoying problem.
We don't want to discount the aggravation of anyone that has or is dealing with Joy-Con drift. The truth is that class action lawsuits don't really get a whole lot done, right, Lawrence?
Yeah, they take forever, and the payouts are usually very low. It's an old adage, really. The only winners in class action suits are the lawyers, because they're the only ones making any money.
In this case, it was it Chickson?
Chimicles or
Chimicles?
Chimichanga.
Burger King foot lettuce.
There it is.
It's tough, but hey, don't let it stop you from sticking it to the man and filling out that form. You might get a $5 check in like 6 years. Take it from me.
Yeah, I mean, Lawrence, you're not really being facetious here, right? You went through this.
Yeah, I've actually been involved in a class action lawsuit in regards to video games. So this is the look of someone who got actual money from a video game class action suit. Yes, behold, my majesty, gaze upon my riches. I just ate like 3-day-old yogurt.
Tell them how much you got.
Sure, I got a check for like $10, $9, I think.
$9?
Yeah, it's for buying a Fat Ps3, like a launch PS3, a long time ago. So this happened a million years ago. We're gonna talk about a lot of old things in this episode, I think. But when the PS3 launched, you can install other operating systems on it for some reason, namely Linux. People used it for folding at home, some other stuff like cloud rendering junk. It was neat.
It's interesting.
But,
yeah, no one really used it.
Yeah, except for this guy. Sony removed that feature with a software update in 2010, presumably because only hyper nerds were using it. So basically, if you bought a PS3 during the window that feature was supported, it was removed via software, even though you bought the product that had that feature supported. So they actually removed something that was on the box that you could
I was gonna say, and it said it supported that product.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a law firm smelled chum in the water, decided to file a class action suit over the removal of that feature. Makes sense. Here's kind of the timeline of what you can expect when it comes to class action suits. The plaintiffs in this case filed the original suit in December 2011. Sony didn't reach a settlement until October 2016, 5 years later. There were 2 classes in this settlement too. If you actually use the other S feature, which I didn't, because I like to be a person of the people. You get up to $55 if you actually use that feature,
So if you
but
install
everyone's got
Linux,
like $9.
Yeah.
if you install Linux, you get $55.
Yeah.
But if you didn't, you got 9.
Yep.
Of course, it is possible that Nintendo could settle right away, or they could fight it, and the entire case could get dropped. These things happen. Just be aware that this will not be a windfall in any sense for you.
I want to be a millionaire!
If you're hoping to get on this class action train, just look at our poor, literally poor friend Lawrence.
I took the Vons card out of my wallet yesterday so my wallet would be flatter.
In another example, Takeover versus Electronic Arts, originally filed in June 2008, alleged that EA created a football video game monopoly and sought to recover money from sales of Madden, NFL, NCAA football.
But those checks didn't go out until November 2013.
So that was 2008 to 2013, so another 5-year distance there.
Yeah, we're seeing a pattern here.
Yeah, so if you want to stick it to the man, you better bring a snack and a book to read, just like jury duty, because it's gonna take a long time.
So apart from that, this isn't the first time Nintendo has tangled with hardware issues either.
Maybe it's a weird side effect of the company's insistence on making oddball controllers and weird doohickeys.
Yeah.
They put out a lot of weird stuff, a lot of weird breakable things that haven't really been tested for years and years in the market. So this is again reaching back into the annals of gamer history. Nice, yeah. But the New York State Attorney General's office once threatened Nintendo with legal action due to injuries sustained by playing the original Mario Party all the way back in March 2000.
Oh, wow. So wait, you're saying that Nintendo is responsible for me clubbing my friend over the head with an N64 controller because he stole 3 stars for me on the last turn?
Well, yeah, but that's not what this suit is about.
That's all Nintendo's fault as well.
So the original Mario Party had mini games where you have to spin the analog stick in a circle, but 9,000 IQ gamers like me realize that you can do it a lot faster if you just flatten your palm against the stick and
just do this.
rub it in a circular motion.
It's like a clip.
Yeah, exactly. You just gotta really mash it in there. Except that unlike a clit, the rubber top of the analog stick would cause a lot of friction and literally burn through your palm. So yeah, there were a lot of pictures of people with like stigmata wounds on their palms playing Mario Party.
What?
That's Nintendo.
Kids were burning their hands out playing Mario Party, at least the dumb ones that didn't have a gamer sock on the side like Lawrence. That's right.
Call it a cum rag. That's what it was.
That was a different sock.
Oh, God.
They're pairs, man. One's for cum, one's for Mario Party.
When you play Mario Party, you hear a lot of crunching noises. What is that? Nintendo actually dodged paying $80 million in damages by instead spending $20,000 on Mario Party gamer gloves to affected kids.
Yeah, hey, speaking of N64, those analog sticks would fry themselves in a year or two as well. I mean, yeah, of course they did.
Just remember, it's just like a loose
They were always broken.
Yeah.
I used to go into GameStop and like shake the controllers and see if the analog stick would just
They were
wobble around.
always broken, but we
God.
didn't have Reddit to compare notes back then, so we just handed the busted controller to our friends when we played GoldenEye like everyone else. You get the bad one, I get the good one because you're at my house.
Yeah, why are you doing so bad? Stop picking up the club. Die, die, die. Speaking of Nintendo sending out protective equipment to dodge paying damages, remember when people kept overhand fastballing their Wiimotes into their TVs? That was fun. That's when people started recording video for the internet too. So it
That was like early
plenty of it.
YouTube. Oh, God bless them.
Autumn just did that with a Joy-Con into my monitor the other time.
You gotta put on that wrist strap.
Inside Gaming's very own Adam Kovic had a Joy-Con thrown at his stomach.
Yeah, that's an infamous infamous clip on the internet.
My God, yeah.
In response, Nintendo sent out very generous Wiimote condoms to prevent people from destroying their living rooms.
Those things are gross.
They are gross.
Hell, this isn't even the first time Nintendo's had an issue with the Joy-Cons themselves, right, Lawrence?
Yeah, remember back when the Switch launched, several people complained about their left Joy-Con disconnecting over and over again. This was back in March 2017, yeah. Nintendo pinned that one on, quote, a manufacturing variation that, quote, resulted in wireless interference with a small number of the left Joy-Con. They fixed the issue by stuffing a little foam square in there, which apparently solved it.
Okay.
But still, there is a common theme here.
Yeah, if Nintendo runs into a widespread hardware problem like this, they typically find a programmatic solution rather than simply settling through a class action lawsuit.
Yeah, if we apply that thinking to the current Joy-Con drift issue, Nintendo will probably implement some kind of exchange program rather than pay out damages to those affected.
Yeah, maybe they'll send you a working Joy-Con to exchange for your drifting one, so you don't have to spend time without a functioning controller, or they'll kick you a free game or discount on the Nintendo Store. That sounds like typical Nintendo.
That's a big one though. Free game?
It's cheaper than paying for a 5-year lawsuit where you have to defend yourself against a pack of hungry lawyers.
And it doesn't really cost them anything if they give you like Super Mario Brothers, you know, Super Nintendo.
New
version.
Super Mario Brothers Wii.
No, I'm saying like old Nintendo stuff.
Oh, got it.
like
Okay.
that,
Yeah, they just give you a month of like Nintendo Online or something like that.
Exactly. Enjoy Tetris Effect.
Long story short, don't expect Nintendo to go out of business on this. Maybe hold off on buying that new car until the check actually hits your mailbox in 5 years.
Nope. I'm gonna sit there with my broken controller waiting for my money.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you could do that if you want.
I'm gonna be rich.
Sweet justice.
Run up the debt on your credit cards because you're gonna be a millionaire.
I'm not coming into work. Hey, good news, Bruce. I don't need this job anymore.
All right.
My controller broke.
See you later.
Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is brought to you by Ring Neighbors. So this is the same company that makes like the little video doorbells and stuff, but they're expanding. Now they want your neighborhood to be safe, and Ring Neighbors can help you know what's going on in your neighborhood and also do your part to be a good neighbor in your neighborhood. So there are already apps that are basically like neighborhood information services, but unlike those, Ring Neighbors is focused entirely on safety. As a result, they make sure that all of their posts are actually screened, so you're not gonna get a bunch of notifications about somebody who's offering their massage services or maybe personal trainer routines or telling you about a yard sale you don't care about. No, this is only for happenings in the neighborhood that concern safety and maybe strange people milling about. Which is important. My neighborhood actually just got hit. Some people around the corner got burglarized. People were posting about it, but maybe if it didn't get lost in a lot of fluff about people complaining about helicopters and people walking too loud outside on the sidewalk, yes, that really happens. Maybe more people would have paid attention. So Ring Neighbors offers that, basically a safety-focused neighborhood watch sort of program that can help you keep your neighborhood safe. You can get that today at ring.com/inside. Once more, that's ring.com/inside to see what's going on in your neighborhood and join the new Neighborhood Watch with Ring Neighbors. So thank you, Ring, for sponsoring this episode, and thank you for keeping us safe while we're inside playing our video games. The Tegra T210 chipset.
That's a higher number.
It is a higher number.
You were both correct.
And the one we're at now only has 4 gigabytes of system.
Oh, it's higher RAM.
Oh, it's more than up. The Switch model that Nintendo announced today just has an extended battery and that's it. Where's that 214, Nintendo? 214? I need it. Where's my RAM?
It is possible that this new model uses the new Tegra